Hi guys, so for this video, I'm going to cover a bunch of Chapter 2 Season 5 tips and tricks that I can almost guarantee a ton of you do not know about. These strats will include new box fighting exploits, new ways to rotate around the map, new balance changes that Epic quite literally just released today after the patch went up. I'm even going to show a brand new overpowered way to crouch peek. On top of that, I'm also going to show off where some of the secret weapons are around the map. These include the new exotic rarity weapons, yes, there is a whole new rarity, as well as walk you through some hidden locations that are really good for solo drop spots or just cool to know about. All I ask before we start the video, which I never ask for, is to please drop a like. I've literally been up for like 40 hours straight. You guys can probably tell because I look so tired. My eyes are really red. Regardless, I will not sleep until this video goes up and until each and every one of you hits the like button. I just won't do it. With all that being said though, hopefully you dropped a like. I think it's just about time to get into the tips and tricks. Alright, to start, I'm quickly going to cover the more basic changes because why the heck not? The first of these are all the new locations. A quick glance at your mini-map or when you pull up your full map will show that a lot has changed at the center of the island. We have a huge new POI called Colossal Coliseum that basically looks exactly the way it sounds. It is essentially a Roman-style stadium with loot all around the sides and within it, in addition to an NPC that is not a mythic boss named Menace at the middle of it. I'll talk more about how those work and the difference between them later. One cool thing about Colossal Coliseum that not that many people know is that every time you load up a game, the center of it will be different. Some matches it will be empty, there will be nothing there. Other matches will have random gladiator stuff, random Roman stuff, and sometimes if you get really lucky, you'll have the cool crab and llama structures that are back from season 1. You guys remember these wood structures from behind Moisty Mire? Oh, and one last thing about Colossal Coliseum and pretty much all the new POIs is that they have cool underground bunkers that are kind of hidden. You can easily get to them and they don't have too much loot. In fact, it's probably not even worth looting. It's just something that's secret and is good to know. Anyways, next to Colossal Coliseum is another place with absolutely no loot, the 0 Point. This spot is not named on the map. I mean, it kind of is. It's not a named POI, but it has the 0 Point, which was from the event. I tried building up to it to see if it acted like a rift. That's kind of what everyone thought. Unfortunately, all I have to report back is that it kind of spits you out maybe 20 feet. It also gives you 50 shield, which is cool, but again, no rift. The area next to the 0 Point is even more named and unnamed locations. These places include the Butter Barn, which reminds me of a pancake restaurant. It's where Mancake lives, who is another NPC. There's also one of the old Dusty Depot buildings to the east, half of Tomato Temple connected to the orchard to the northeast, Salty Towers, which yes, is tilted and salty combined, to the west, and finally Mandalorian's Razor Crest, or basically his battleship, to the east of that. Alright, but what about outside the center of the map? How many changes are there? Arguably the biggest, which is kind of close to the center of the map, but still outside of it, is the POI called Hunter's Haven. This is exactly where all those sentinels were. I think it was actually called Sentinel's Graveyard. Now, it's a bunch of pretty cool buildings. It gives me a weird Call of Duty vibe. Plus, like I said before, it also has an underground bunker with a lot of loot. Last off on the new locations list, we have small stuff like Flush Factory behind Slurpy Swamp. We have part of the Durr Burger building, which was from Greasy Grove at Logjam Woodworks. We have the giant Viking boat on top of the Superstore, which is hilarious. And then we have Stealthy Stronghold. Stealthy Stronghold is located behind Pleasant Park, where Homily Hills was. It has a secret bunker, a ton of chests. It's got a cool jungle layout, and hopefully it will have some sort of storyline to go with it. I don't really know what's going on. Moving on to weapon changes, the loot pool has changed a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Pump shotguns were vaulted. Burst ARs were vaulted, TAC SMGs were vaulted, LMGs, scoped ARs, combat shotguns, revolvers, fire traps, crash pads, which is a really good change. All of these things are no longer in the Battle Royale. Then on the other side of it, all charge shotguns were originally unvaulted. Then Epic went and vaulted the white ones, which is how it stands today. We also have tactical shotguns being unvaulted, with all the different rarities having a higher percentage of being found. That was the mini patch Epic rolled out. I'll put the tweet for it on the screen. It's kind of random because we all want pumps back. Anyways, the other weapons that were unvaulted were tactical ARs, P90s, SMGs, purple pistols, and double barrel shotguns. There were actually some brand new additions to the loot pool, which Epic does not really do a lot. What they did this season was introduce the Dragon's Breath shotgun, as well as a whole new weapon rarity called Exotic. It's a cool light blue color that I will touch upon later. Back to the Dragon's Breath shotgun. This shotgun fires one bullet of 4 pellets, if that makes sense. It fires one time, 4 bullets is what I meant to say, meaning yes, it takes 4 ammo every time you shoot or reload. Additionally, this shotgun has a huge spread. It's kind of like the double barrel, except instead of shooting normal bullets and only shooting 2 of them, it shoots 4 bullets that lights people on fire. You can literally do damage over time with it. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's broken. On the topic of potentially broken items, let's talk about the only 2 mythic items in the game that you can get from the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, which is the dude from Star Wars, he is the only NPC that you cannot interact with. He only wants to fight, and he is the only one that will drop you mythic items. The rest drop you crap. The first out of the 2 things he drops is the Amban sniper rifle. This sniper has a full thermal scope, which is very similar to the thermal fish, if you guys remember that from last season. You can see enemies through builds, and it does 110 damage to the body, as well as 275 damage to the head. That's a lot. I originally did not know this, but this Amban sniper rifle does not hip fire. When you're not aimed in and you press fire, you basically do a melee where you jolt forward and do damage. The damage numbers are not too bad. I think it's 45 damage to your opponents and 110 damage to builds. So considering it's not just a sniper, it's also kind of mobility and a melee weapon, I think that's pretty sick. As for the other item the Mandalorian drops, it is a normal everyday jetpack. That's a joke, by the way. It's not really a normal jetpack. It's mythic, and because of that, it recharges. It does not use gas. It does not use anything like that. It does have a gauge with the number to show you before you run out, but after you do, you automatically recharge it, and that will get you back to full charge. I was originally gonna wait for the end to talk about the shotgun meta. I might even just do a separate video on it. I'm not too sure, but let's kind of be real here. We had the same exact dilemma 2 seasons ago. Should we use the charged shotgun or the tac? To answer your question right now, at the moment, I think it's kind of preference. Both of these shotguns are very good in their own ways. The tac is very good for pressuring opponents if you're jumping into someone's box, while the charge is very good if you're defensive, if you're holding angles, and if you play slow. My only tip for you guys is to figure out what your playstyle is, which one you prefer, and then roll with that. I promise you, using one or the other is not going to change your gameplay too much, especially if you find one you synergize well with. The tac shotgun actually got a small damage buff, so when I say they're equal, I really do mean it. Just remember to go and watch my old charged shotgun videos, lead your shots with the charged shotgun, track your opponents with it because you have to release after you press the trigger one time. Then with the tac, you can use it normally, you can flick. Just make sure you're comfortable with both. The last and final thing I want to touch upon before we get to some of the overpowered secret strats is the gold system and the NPCs. As you guys may have noticed while playing, you now have gold as a material on the bottom right of your screen. The thing is, you cannot build with it. It's not a normal material like metal or wood. What it is an in-game currency called bars that you can only use in-game for in-game items, for in-game quests, only in-game, not in the item shop, not anywhere else. You have to be in a Battle Royale match. To get gold or gold bars, you can get it from looting, you can get it from breaking builds, you can actually get it from opening cash registers, which is pretty cool. You can get it from killing your opponents, and you can get it from opening safes, which have a ton of gold. I highly recommend doing that if you can find them. Once you have a lot of gold, or even if you don't have a lot, you can go up to the NPCs, which are non-player characters. These are the current or the past battle pass skins that are randomly scattered around the map inside buildings and have a cool little white dialogue sign above their head. Once you interact with them, they'll present you with a bunch of different quests. Some of them include finding different weapons, doing damage with certain weapons. They'll also offer you to upgrade your weapon or give you a new one for a certain amount of gold. They'll even let you put bounties on other players' heads who are inside the game. That way you can earn even more gold. Now, personally, I think this is really cool. Not only can you hunt down other players in the game using hints from the bounty board as to where they are, but you could also get hunted yourself and use the tracking meter to see how close your opponent is. If you survive with a bounty on your head long enough, then you actually get the bounty yourself. You get all of that gold to keep. My one and only gripe about the gold system though is that it really only works in public matches. You see, in order to get really cool and good items like the exotic sniper, which I'll show in a minute, you need a lot of gold. I'm talking 1200 gold. Usually I can only find like 50. Well, in case you did not know, your gold actually carries over from game to game in public matches. However, it does not in arena. In arena, every single game you start with 0 gold and it resets at the end of it. Your gold does not carry over. Man! I guess this is not too big of a deal since you can go up to the NPC and hire them and or try to duel with them and then fight them for their weapon. It would just be way easier if gold was easier to come by. As far as I know, I think I covered about everything. I'm looking at my notes. We seem to be good to go. Let's finally jump into game and look at some of those exploits and secret strats. Yeah! Alright, so the first new strat involves the Amban sniper rifle that I just talked about. This thing is from the Mandalorian. You guys know it's a thermal scope, but then if you do not aim in, it melees. That was 110 damage to that wall. What the new trick you can do with it is, anytime it's really low, I'll get it one shot. You can just go straight through the wall. So he's gonna hold the wall. He's on 0 pig. And I teleport right behind him. Remember, you need to get the wall low, at least lower than 110 HP, because that's how much damage this does. You don't go through the ramp, but you still get into the box. So I'm going to hold with brick. And he goes right through. You basically teleport behind the person. Oh my gosh! There is nothing you can do to counter that. As Kazaki just pointed out, it also negates fall damage if you time it. No fall damage at all. GG. Something that I did not talk about in the new weapons, because it's not a new weapon, it's a new item, are these 0-point crystals. And once you do that, you can just double jump and it will blink you forward, basically teleport you. You can do it unlimited times until it runs out, and you go pretty far. Not too bad, that's about 10 feet. The really sick trick with it is if your opponent is inside a box. Yeah, stop running. So he's inside a box. I can get it low, hold forward, and chop as I dash. So I'm gonna dash, and I go right through. Hold the wall. I'm gonna dash, hold forward. Okay, that was... Oh my gosh. No. Oh my god. No! No! This strat is busted. Before I see any comments saying, that's never gonna be useful. You can only find the 0-point crystals in the center of the map. Well, if you break these rocks, you can actually get them wherever these rocks are. So it's really not that hard to find them. And now you can always get inside boxes, even if you do not have the Mandalorian item. Third pretty new and busted strat is using the quicksand. You guys probably know if you just stand still in the sand, after a few seconds, you become this little sand demon, and then you can just fly around and go so fast. This is as fast as a car. It is way faster than running. You can also hide with it, get free placement points. Yahoo! You basically have shield while you're a sand demon. You're so fast. Wait, stand still, stand still, wait. So 22, 22. What do you have, 100 shield? And then you come out in the middle of a fight. The trick I wanted to show when you become a sand demon is another exploit. You get into the little sand thing, gain a little speed, and then go under your opponent's box and jump up. And you can go straight through. I'm not even gonna jump up. Yeah, that did a decent amount. Oh my gosh. I can barely even see where you are. Imagine you're in a tournament, you would not even see it coming. You would hear it. Oh! No! No! Let me out! No! 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 She said you have a P90! GG. Exploit number 4, which is truly an exploit, is how to god peek. So all you have to do is be at the center of the map, the whole sand desert biome, wherever you can become a sand demon. That is where the god strat, overpowered peeking mechanic, will work. What you do is you build a ramp, obviously. That's what we're going to be peeking off of. You're going to crouch, only go down a little. So you see how I'm like below? I'm slowly going into the sand, but at the same time, I'm not allowing myself fully under. That gives me the god peek. Look at this. My character's head is not above. That is Sifu level. And I don't really have to do anything. I can just shoot. So again, if you're in a fight in the middle of this sand biome, go down a little, but don't let yourself sink all the way down. And then boom. Llama. Llama must die. Just to prove it, the llama died. The God Peak. For the second to last God strat, it's basically what I think the whole meta is going to be, and that is fishing. Fishing is really overpowered this season. You'll see why. I'll also show the 2 fish that are new. Okay, so right in front of me, I have both of the new fish that were added. There is the 0-point fish, it's blue rarity, and then we have the rift fish, which is purple or epic rarity. When you consume the 0-point fish, that's this one, you basically get the same exact little dash ability that we saw before. You could get this wherever you are on the map because it's a fish. Then the other one is the rift fish, and I think you all know what this is about to do. I consume it. Rift to go. Literally broken. The best fish Epic has ever added. That's gonna make rotations so insanely good and competitive. And it's why I personally think fishing is the meta. If you're not landing at a fishing spot, you are not doing something right. You only get blue weapon rarity loot and above. And a rift fish. That's your entire half and half rotation. You're now set to make endgame. 0-point fish, even more rotation. By the way, I'm in a real match. There we go, blue SMG. Better than the loot you find in chests. Blue tack, are you kidding me? Look at my loadout. I am set for endgame. Fishing is the meta once again. You need to fish to do well this season. I promise you, especially in competitive. To finish up the video, I quickly want to talk about the exotic rarity weapons. This is the new rarity that is light blue. You can only get it from NPCs. They give you the weapons for it. You may have seen from McCreamy's video. It is the heavy sniper that is exotic rarity. It takes 1,250 gold to get it. That is a lot of gold. You're not going to get that in one game. The best part about it though is that it's not a normal heavy sniper. It does not hit people for 150 damage or higher. It basically explodes like a little tiny arrow thing. It does like no damage. It's hilariously bad, but the fact that it even exists is hilarious enough. Shout out to McCreamy. Overall guys, those are all my tips and tricks, all my secret strats for Chapter 2 Season 5. If you guys learned something new or you enjoyed the video, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel somewhere down here, and to turn on my post notifications. Shout out to everyone who used code JERIAN for the Season 5 Battle Pass. I love each and every one of you. Please let me know if you did use my code because I want to thank you. I want to shout you out. I appreciate it so much that you used my code over anyone else's. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.